Welcome all to the episode 3 of One Unwavering Focus. And we are going to discuss particularly on this chapter 2.2, where the author is discussing about manifesting the life we want. How we can manifest the life we want. That is the topic of the day. And author is saying this is also the second impetus for leading a focused life. We all have goals and dreams in life, and the challenges has always been to manifest them. Many factors are involved in bringing a vision to reality, but there are some fundamental character traits that are definitely needed to do so. The ability to focus is one of them, and I would say this is one of the major or the most important factor. If this is missing, then all other things, how good the strategies look like, we might not be able to implement that. So the ability to focus is the one of the most important factor to achieve what we want in life, or to manifest what kind of life we really want. Then the author is saying the second impetus for leading a focused life is that unwavering focus gives you the ability to manifest your goal. And for this reason, well, learning how to focus well is eminently worth striving for. Life is a manifestation of where you invest your energy. This is the quote given by Dandapani, a very, very profound quote, and it says, life is a manifestation of where you invest your energy. And where we focus, there our energy automatically flows. This is a well known principle. And on top of it, he builds the next one, that is, life is manifestation of where you invest your energy. The best way to understand this statement is to look at energy the same way you look at water. If I took a watering can and I water a garden bed, would the weeds or flower grows? The answer is both. Right? If I garden, then both will grow because water has no ability to differentiate between weeds and flower. Whatever gets watered in the garden will start to grow. Energy works in exactly the same way. Whatever I invest my energy in will start to grow. If I invest my energy in something positive, it will grow and become more positive. Invest if I invest my energy in something negative, it will grow and become more negative. Energy has no ability to discriminate between what is positive and what is negative. So we need to be very cautious in understanding where our focus is going. And automatically the manifestation happens. Just like when we water in the garden, both weeds and flower grows because water has no ability to differentiate between weeds and flowers. Whatever I invest energy in will start to grow and manifest in my life. To manifest something or someone in my life, I invest energy in it. Right this moment, you are the sum total of where you have been investing your energy your entire life. Your physical, mental, and emotional makeup and more are a byproduct of your conscious or unconscious investment of energy. So sometimes we consciously invest our energy in something, and many a times we unconsciously invest our energy. But however, wherever it goes, that grows. If I choose to follow a well thought through diet and an exercise routine for myself, I will be investing energy in creating a healthier physical body. If I choose to affirm only positive statement to my subconscious filter out negativity and meditate. I will be investing energy in creating a healthier mind for myself. Most people are not conscious. This is so important, and it's not their mistake. It is actually the training that they have already given to their mind unconsciously. So, what is the result? Most people are not conscious of whether they are consciously putting their energy, or unconsciously, and where they are putting their energy, that is also unconsciously being done. Primarily, author is saying primarily because they lack clarity around their purpose in life. This is so important. The clarity is missing. So if clarity is missing, then automatically our mind wanders in all possible directions. And wherever our, if anything like the sun rays, if it is scattered, it cannot burn anything. But if we convert that in a magnifying glass, then it can burn the item that is beneath the magnifying glass. Similarly, we need to have the clarity that what is my purpose of life and how I can break down that purpose to daily or long term, medium term, and short term goals, and then further to daily actions so that I can keep my focus intact and towards that purpose. Now, author is saying this is something which author has not said, but yeah, that is very important. So we need to remember and implement that. Implementation is very important. Knowing is just the beginning. Consequently, there is no clear point of focus directing where their energy should go. As a result, not much of what they desire manifest in their life. Once we are clear on our purpose and priorities in life, the ability to focus then becomes a critical skill to learn. So once we are clear, then it is the ability to focus then becomes a critical skill to learn. Because once we have the clarity but we don't have focus, then also it is of no use. Later in our study, Later in our study of the mind and awareness, you will learn that by focusing where your awareness goes, you can focus where your energy is flowing and thus determine what is manifesting in your life. Another massively important reason to learn to focus. This is all about 2.2. Shall we go ahead and complete 2.3 also? Anandji, do you have time and the 10 minutes? Okay, thanks for pinging. It might be okay. Let's try to see how much we can complete. Yeah. So the lesson 2.3 says death, the greatest impetus. The third impetus for leading a focused life. Because this is so important because we are kind of ignoring it, and we feel that we are like immortal. That is why we are wasting our time and focus and energy like they matter nothing. Let's dive in what author is saying. There is no greater impetus for leading a focused life than the indisputable fact that death is patiently waiting to greet us all one day. And that one day can be tomorrow also, no? Today also. Who knows? Death is a topic most people do not like to talk about. It makes many extremely uncomfortable and others fearful, and stirs strong emotions in some. We have been evolving on this planet for a very long time, and though each of us has a myriad of unique experiences, we all share two intense common experiences. One is birth, and second is death. The former not remembered by most, and the latter feared by most. Birth and death are the two experiences For birth, actually, no one remembers, and death, everyone fears, or most fear this experience. This, let me underline, this is nicely explained by author. This will be an uncomfortable topic for quite a few of you. When I embark on the mission to write this book, I told myself I would do so in the spirit of selfless service. I pledged to ask myself each day if what I was writing was truly in service to the reader. I also promised myself that I would not hold back in sharing what I felt was important, even if what I wrote would make some readers uncomfortable. If I stuck to the intent of serving the reader, I knew I would be creating the biggest impact possible. I will quote the Dalai Lama, who so wisely summarizes the intent of this lesson in a single phrase. Analysis of death is not for the sake of becoming fearful, but to appreciate this precious lifetime. Wow. And that is why we should not fear to talk about or think or contemplate about topic of death. So reading again the main important phrase, analysis of death is not for the sake of becoming fearful, but to appreciate this precious lifetime. That means if we are not conscious about our time, then we need to conscious about our death and the impermanency of our life. So, author is saying by embracing the fact that we will die one day, we come to realize the preciousness of life. Death is not to be feared, but rather embraced as a natural part of our existence on this earthly plane. Death is not to be feared, but rather embraced as a natural part of our existence on this earthly plane. Because beyond the earth or beyond this body, what exists that will never die. So we have all directly experienced or indirectly known of someone we care about dying. We care about dying. Losing someone we love is a devastating experience. I know. I lost my guru and my life was never the same again. Most people do not like to talk about death as it evokes feelings of sadness, loss, fear, and more. And because of this hesitation to talk or think about it, it is not something that people understand well. Most of us, most of us grow up not being taught about death at home or at school. Most parents feel their lack of knowledge around the topic makes them too uninformed to speak about it to their children, and they often feel that death is a topic frighten that may frighten their children. That said, people's understanding of death is often based on the religious upbringing they have had, and every religion or philosophy has a different perspective on what happens after the point of death. Right. So after the point of death, actually, what happens? Many of the philosophy or religions have their writings, and that is sometimes very uh, unique and different. Not to quote whether it is right or wrong, but that also has created some amount of impression and fear among people. So author is saying, but no one really knows for sure because no one has ever died, gone to heaven, takes a selfie, come back and posted it on Instagram with the caption, "Here is my heaven," or "Here I am in heaven," followed by a hashtag, right? Relegates. We have our beliefs and we may hold firmly to them, but no one knows for sure. And even if you have had a near death experience, it's kind of hard to prove it to people. My guru's death was the most devastating experience in my life. It brought me to the stark realization that the people we love die. As my guru would often say, once you realize something, You cannot unrealize it. Wow, very, very important. So I'm underlining it. Once you realize something, you cannot unrealize it. And if you're thinking that forgetting is unrealizing, then actually it is not realization, it is a memorization. That is what I feel. So author is saying to understand something intellectually is one thing, to realize something is completely different experience. So maybe intellectually we can understand based on our intelligence, but if we want to realize something which is the deeper concept, is not the cakewalk. Actually, it depends on person to person, and experiences may vary. So the Oxford Dictionary of English defines realization as an act of becoming fully aware of something as a fact. A person can have an experience of something but may not realize it. Here is an example. Julie's father dies and the experience devastates Julie. She is in mourning for many months and even years later deeply misses her father. The death of her father has impacted her emotionally, but not necessarily brought upon her the realization that life is finite. This is the realization, right? The life is finite. And even though she experienced deeply, this realization might not have come. She goes about her life as normal, bearing the burden of sadness. But the death of her father has not changed the way she lives her life. So we can conclude that she intellectually understands that everyone dies, but has not realized the reality of death. Realizing something causes a complete shift in perspective that then results in a permanent change in behavior, the way we act, react to life's experience. This is so important. So what he's saying is like realizing something causes a complete shift. What is realization or what it brings? It is a complete shift. It causes a complete shift in perspective that then results a permanent change in behavior, and that further leads to permanent change in behavior. Shift in perspective leads to permanent change in behavior. That is the way we act and react to life's experience. The action and reaction to the life is going to be different, and that is what actually is called realization. You can truly tell how much an experience has impacted a person based on their behavior after the experience. For some, there is no change. For others, there is a temporary change that ebbs with the burning pain. For a few, life is never the same again, as the realization gained from the experience catapults them into a new way of living. The death of my guru brought about a profound realization within me that the people we love die, that all of us die, that indeed our time on this planet is finite. The common phrases repeated by most people is that life is short. I vehemently disagree. Life is not short. We will reveal and understand this principle how life is not short, even though the death is inevitable. We will understand this again on Tuesday. Monday, we are taking a break mostly. If not, I will be sending the reminder in the group on Monday also if we are having the session on Monday. So, any points you want to share? Anyone wants to share? Or Anandji, if you want to share, you can unmute instead of typing. Okay, fine. You can share in the WhatsApp also. That's fine. Thank you for joining, and thank you all for watching who are watching live in YouTube. And I wish you a good day ahead and a very enjoyable weekend ahead. Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye. Bye.